What is up guys, Anton here with Unbox PH, where we take the awesome out of the box, and today we are going to be taking a look at something truly awesome. The new standard for top tier gaming smartphones this 2022, we are looking at the ASUS ROG Phone 6 Pro. Now, sadly, wala pa kaming official prices, pero stay tuned to our socials as well as ASUS's socials you can find in the description down below for the latest updates. But in the meantime, tingnan muna natin kung ano ang makukuha nyo with the brand new benchmark for gaming smartphones, the ASUS ROG Phone 6 Pro. Now, let's first take a look at the packaging, which I really do love how aggressive ASUS ROG is when it comes to their packaging for the ROG phones. They're really committing to this futuristic spaceship theme. At kitang-kita yun kung paano mo buksan yung box. It does open up like a cockpit of a spaceship. At unang-unang makikita mo is that ROG Phone 6 Pro. And I am really happy to see that there is an included 65-watt fast charger for this device, as well as a braided USB-C cable. That does make sense because most gaming mice and gaming headsets do come with a braided or paracorded cable so that you get that flexibility without sacrificing durability and weight. Now, let's take a look at the phone itself, which is definitely premium in its build with metal side rails as well as a glass back panel, but it does come with its usual ASUS ROG phone flair. You have this very aggressive gamer aesthetic on the back panel with very fine line detailing, as well as the number 6 scattered around and about. Kasi yun nga, ROG Phone 6 Pro nga to. You can also find ROG Vision display that you can find on their ZenBook laptops. You can definitely find this on the ROG phone. It does give it its own unique kind of flair. Pero ang major design change na nakikita natin with the ROG Phone 6 Pro is that camera bump. We are getting a slight upgrade when it comes to the camera sensors with this phone, kaya kailangan na may camera bump, but more on that later. Kung tingnan natin ang left-hand side ng phone na to, we can see the volume rockers and the power button as well with that very nice blue trim. And this is the side where you will find the air triggers that really does help your performance when it comes to mobile gaming. Kasi you can use your index fingers while gaming much easier without having to use a weird claw grip. On the left-hand side naman, doon natin makikita ang SIM card tray as well as the second one of 2 USB-C ports that you can use on this device. This is a really nice touch because having that port there does make it a lot easier to play while charging your device. On the bottom naman, this is where you'll find the off-center USB-C port, again because it's more convenient to play landscape mode while it is charging, as well as a 3.5mm jack, so you can still use your favorite pair of wired headphones or earphones. Now let's move on to the display, where the ASUS ROG phones really tend to push the limits in terms of specs. We are just getting a 6.78-inch Full HD Plus AMOLED screen here, but they're really pushing the boundaries with refresh rates kasi 165Hz ang refresh rate ng phone na to. It's much faster than my 144Hz monitor right there, as well as a noticeable upgrade in the touch sampling rate with a 720Hz touch sampling rate that you will definitely notice, especially if you play first-person shooters or third-person shooters on your phone. Now, we are still getting full 10-bit color with this AMOLED display, and it's not just for gaming because content consumption on this device is also incredibly enjoyable, and I have not experienced this smoothness with this 165Hz refresh rate on any other smartphone before. So, scrolling through Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, yung mga ganong klaseng apps is incredibly smooth and responsive. Now onto the internals. Now this wouldn't be an ASUS ROG phone if it didn't have the best of the best when it comes to specs, because we are getting a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, which isn't a full upgrade compared to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, but we are getting very noticeable performance differences here. Now when it comes to memory, you can get all the way up to 18 gigabytes of RAM, as well as all the way up to 512 gigs of UFS 3.1 storage. Now sadly, we are not getting expandable storage with this device, but with 512 gigs, that should be more than enough to have all the games that you want in your phone. Now on to the software experience on this device. It does come with Android 12 right out of the box, and with the new aesthetic that we're getting with Android 12, it still runs incredibly smoothly, especially with that 165Hz refresh rate screen. Now, the ASUS ROG Phone 6 Pro also has the X Mode feature that does dedicate more resources to optimize your gaming experience. And with that 720Hz touch sampling rate on this phone, you can make sure that you will get the smoothest experience when it comes to gaming on this phone, no matter what you are throwing at it. We did try Genshin Impact with max settings and 60 frames per second, and it ran incredibly smoothly even with endgame content. And I myself tried Apex Legends Mobile, where recoil control and movement was just so much easier, thanks to that much more responsive touch sampling rate. Now let's take a look at the cameras, which isn't really the strongest suit of ROG phones so far, but we are getting a slight upgrade here with a 50 megapixel IMX766 main sensor, a 5 megapixel macro camera, as well as a 13 megapixel ultra wide. It is a pretty versatile setup here. I just wish it had a telephoto. Having OIS on this main camera setup would have made this phone much better, but since we're not getting OIS, we are just limited to electronic image stabilization. But since we are also getting the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, a very powerful chip, this phone is also capable of 8K recording in 30 frames per second. Just make sure to use a tripod to get the clearest image possible. But that's enough about the cameras. The ASUS ROG Phone 6 Pro is a gaming phone, and in my opinion, the best gaming phone you can probably get this 2022. Now, it's the best not just because it has the top tier, highest end specs you can get right now, but it is because of what ASUS is doing in terms of optimizing your gaming experience. First, I want to tell you guys about what ASUS is doing with the cooling system on this device. It does use graphene sheets as a thermal conductor, which does optimize thermal performance on this phone for longer hours of gaming. And if that wasn't enough, you can also use the ASUS ROG Aero Active Cooler 6, which is their newest version of this peripheral. It does plug in straight into the secondary USB port on the Phone 6 Pro, and the Armoury Crate software app will instantly recognize this device. Now, that is what you can use to quickly configure what kind of setting you want the fan to be using. But generally, this third-party fan really keeps the device cool and can allow you to game for much longer without having to worry about thermal throttling or the phone getting too hot. Now, the ROG Phone 6 Pro also shares the same form factor as the previous ROG Phone 5, so you can also use older peripherals such as the Kunai 3 gamepad from ASUS that quickly and instantly pairs with the device, thanks to that in-house ASUS support. From my short experience with this device, I really loved using all of these different peripherals together. The Aero Active Cooler 6 does have a built-in stand, so you can prop it up on a table. Pwede mong gamitin yung gamepad at the same time connected to Bluetooth, and you can game for hours on end without even really having to worry about your hands getting too hot. Now, if you don't want to use any other peripherals while using the ROG Phone 6 Pro, those air triggers really make for a game-changing experience, especially if you play shooters like me. Now, if you also want to use all the different peripherals that the ASUS ROG Phone 6 Pro supports, such as the Aero Active Cooler 6 and the Kunai 3 gamepad, you can almost get a console-like experience in the form factor of a smartphone. So wherever you are, you can still get that great graphical fidelity that the ROG Phone 6 Pro can push out without all the heat that the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 is pretty known for. So that is about it for the quick hands-on and unboxing of the new benchmark for gaming smartphones this 2022. So what do you guys think about the ASUS ROG Phone 6 Pro? Do you like this design? I know that the gamer aesthetic is quite divisive. Let us know in the comments down below. Now, once again, my name is Anton, and I will see you guys next time.